I was in UK, I saw a doctor helping a health assistant to change the diaper of a patient who was incontinent. Like, who does that in Africa? You see a doctor, you can tell this is a doctor, this is a nurse, this is that. But in the UK, you don't see who is who. Everybody is somebody, everybody is entitled. So this doctor was helping the health assistant to change the diapers and bed linen of a patient in A&E. I was so shocked. Everybody is respected, and it doesn't matter the rank that you are or the band level that you are. You can even come to the country with somebody at the same time and they will still earn more than you. In fact, they don't respect qualification. Nobody sees your degrees, your masters and whatever. Work is work. And your ability to work, your skillfulness and your dedication is paramount than all your qualifications. So you can be with the same rank with somebody and the person can earn more than you. Probably it's because they are available to take up more shifts and you are not available to take up more shifts. So the more you work, the more money you earn. So it's like time is generally money. Time is generally money. Unlike in my country where irrespective of your rank or how you work, like you work like an elephant's work and you take an ant's salary. We used to worship our superiors. So if you meet your nursing in charge and you don't call them by sister or mommy or auntie or by those titles, DDNS, PNOs, you can be sanctioned. I had that, I got to face that at a point. I forgot to stand up for my DDNS. When you see your senior rank, you have to stand up to greet them. I literally didn't see my superior coming, so I didn't stand up to greet her, and I was queried for that. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for your constant support. It is never overlooked. I thank you for all of your comments, for your likes, your shares, your subscriptions. Without you, this channel would never ever have grown. Honestly, sometimes I don't know how the channel grows, but I see a positive growth each and every day, and all thanks to you for your shares, your likes, your comments and every good stuff in between. So just a way to say thank you to you, I am dropping a code or a link in the comment section and in the description box. And so if you're in the UK and you want to send money to any part of Africa, you can just use this link or this code and you're going to get a £15 discount on your first transaction. This is just something little to say thank you so much for your constant support on my channel. And across this channel, my name is Rebecca Ajiman, a BSc RN from Ghana, currently practicing in England as a registered nurse. And on this channel, I do nursing videos, I do lifestyle videos, I do workout videos, in fact a little bit of every good stuff and positive vibes in between. And so if this sounds like you want to know more about nursing in the UK, the nursing transition from your home country to the UK and to other countries, then definitely this is the channel for you. Would like to go ahead and subscribe down below, click on the post notification bell icon. That way anytime I upload a video, you'll be notified and be able to watch. For all my returning subscribers, I say a very big thank you. By the title in today's video, I'm just generally going to talk about nursing in Ghana and nursing in the UK. So I'm going to compare two parameters and then we see how it goes. I'm generally going to talk about the salary, the workload, the environment, appreciation, respect, the work in an overview, like the general work in an overview, career advancement and everything. So obviously, I'm sure somebody will be asking how I'm able to do this comparison. If you've been following me for some time, I think I did a video on get ready to know me, get to know your girl, and I introduced myself. But if you've not come across the video, then I'll introduce myself again. So I have been working in Ghana from 2012 to early 2020 before I moved to the UK. And so I moved, I rose in ranks in Ghana. So from a student nurse to a rotation nurse to a staff nurse to a senior staff nurse. I was about to go to the nursing officer, then I decided to have a turnaround in the environment and everything, and then I moved to the UK. When I moved to the UK, I was a band 4, which is a healthcare assistant, prior to writing my OSCE, and after my OSCE I moved to the band 5, and currently I'm working in the endoscopy unit with the NHS. So if it comes to this comparison, I believe I can say something because I have about 8 years experience of working in Ghana and some experience of working in the UK as well. So I've seen this healthcare settings and how nursing is done basically in both settings. And this video, I know that a lot of you can relate not only to nursing in Ghana, it actually flows with other countries as well. So you can relate if you are from Kenya, from Nigeria, from Zimbabwe, from Tanzania. You can actually see that what I'm coming to say is something that runs through. You can actually relate to some of these things in your country as well. So to begin with, I'm going to talk about the salary of nursing in, let's say, Africa generally to the UK. So I realized that in Africa or in Ghana, it doesn't matter the nature of the work you do or anything. The salary is kind of structured. So irrespective of your work hours or anything, you still get the same. So you get a night nurse getting the same salary as a day nurse. You get, night nurses do more. They tend to do like 12 hours. I was doing more of nights before I moved. I was doing nights back to back. Sometimes I could do nights for 14 hours, for 15 hours, because the person to relieve you wouldn't come early, or the person you are going to take up is not done with her nursing task, and so you have to wait. And so you end up doing more than your required hours, and you still get paid the same. So before I moved to the UK, I was a senior staff nurse, and if I convert my salary in pounds, it was about a little over £300 to the salary in UK. And it was still good, though. If you look at it from the perspective of spending this money in Ghana, it was still not bad. But the point is, you save nothing, because you literally live hand to mouth, and you don't have the opportunity to do overtime in Ghana. So you can't say that, oh, I have done overtime, or I stayed for a colleague to come to work, or I stayed more than I was supposed to, and so I'm entitled to get paid. What you have to be paid is what you get paid. Your salary doesn't change as far as you are on that salary ladder. It doesn't get changed irrespective of your rank. But here in the UK, you are paid according to hours. And so if you are doing nights, you don't get paid the same rate as somebody doing days. It doesn't work like that. So night nurses obviously get paid more than day nurses. And those who work on weekends, on bank holidays, they get more. So you can be on the same rank with somebody. You can both be on band 5 or band 6, and you won't get the same salary at the end of the month, because probably they worked on weekends, they worked on holidays, they did some night shifts, and you did just your day shift. So you can't get the same. So baby, you got about 1,700, they can get about £2,000 at the end of the month, but you are the same rank, and you both are doing the same job, but the time of the day differs. Also, I know some people who can make as high as £5,000 in a month here in the UK. This is because they are doing what we call the agency shifts or the bank shifts. So the agency is simply signing up with an agency and just picking up shifts in diverse hospitals or in diverse care settings. And some pay as high as £50 per hour, some pay 40 per hour, some pay 30 per hour, depending on your location. So if you're able to do these shifts, about 5 of these shifts in a month, or 10 of these shifts in a month, in addition to your regular salary, you are going to get almost £5,000 in a month. And that is how people are able to multiply their income here in the UK. Back home, we didn't have anything like that, because you don't have agencies, you don't have anything. Even to get an overtime job to do somewhere was really, really difficult. So you would just have to rely on your basic salary or your salary at your workplace, and that was all. But here you have many options to choose. Next thing is the workload. So I realized that the nurse to patient ratio back home or in Africa was relatively higher than here in the UK. So you can have like one nurse to 25 patients or to 20 patients back home. And if you are not fortunate, on a night shift, you can have about 30 patients to one nurse. And this was causing more burnout, because you are doing more than you are supposed to be doing, and you still get paid the same salary. But here in the UK, you get about 6 to 8 patients to one nurse, which means that you are able to save some energy, because the shifts are longer shifts. So you are able to save some energy. You don't really do much, and you have many healthcare assistants assisting you to do your task as a registered nurse. So you have the healthcare assistants doing their task, like helping the patient to be comfortable, giving them their bath, performing oral hygiene, and you as a registered nurse, you are just serving your medication and also making sure that the patient is comfortable and doing most of the paperwork and the administrative work. So the nurse to patient ratio here is much, much, much better than back home. However, the shift system varies. So back home, we used to have 3 kinds of shifts in a day. So you have the morning shift, the afternoon shift, and the night shift. But here in the UK, you have just 2 shifts. That is the day shift and the night shift. So in the day shift, you do 12 hours, and in the night shift, you do 12 hours. And this is really long. Like you count the 12 hours and you are anticipating when it is going to come, because 12 hours is really, really long and you have much more to do in the 12 hours. Sometimes, trust me, you barely sit down within the 12 hours. You are genuinely on your feet doing a lot of stuff for your patient. So you think that the patient to nurse ratio is smaller. However, one patient can take a chunk of your time because you have to do many things for that one patient. But back home, we had short shifts. And so the morning shift was for 8 hours, the afternoon shift was for 8 hours, and then the night shift was for 12 hours, which was better because if you go to work in the morning, you've got to close around the afternoon. If you come in the afternoon, you've got to close around the evening, and then if you come on the night, you've got to close the next morning. So you can have more family time if you really wanted to. But here in the UK, you have longer shifts. The off days in the UK are more than back home. So because we had shorter shifts back home, you can end up doing about 5 to 6 day shift in a week. So you can work from Monday to Friday. Sometimes you can even work from Monday to Saturday and have just 1 day off with the same salary. But here in the UK, you work for only 3 days, maximum of 4 days in a week. And you have 3 days or 4 days off from work. So if you are on a regular ward and you are doing 12-hour shifts per day and your contract is for 37.5 hours, then you are going to do just 3 days shift in a week and you have 4 days off. But if you are in a specialty unit or if you are in a day surgery, like where I work in endoscopy, and you do shorter shifts, it means you are doing about 10.5 hours in a day. And so you are going to do about 4 shifts in a week and you have 3 days shift. And you have the liberty to choose when you want to go off. Most of the times we don't work on weekends, but if you're on the shift, you're going to be doing some weekends. And the more weekends you do, it means the more you are going to earn. So in the UK, literally, the more you earn, the more you work, the more you earn. Talking about work environment here in the UK, you don't have to improvise. Like back home, we improvise everything. So I'm on one social media platform on Facebook where we exchange nursing ideas. It's a Ghanaian platform and I still join because I still have to learn some things and listen to other people's opinions. And so last week, somebody posted that, tell us about one thing that you've been improvising. It was really, really funny. Some people had to improvise an IV infusion, a giving set as a catheter to catheterize a patient. Like you literally had to perform magic for things to be done. I know that back home we used to reuse nasal cannulas for giving oxygen or nebulizing our patient. You have to wash them and reuse it for the other patient. But here in the UK, most of the things are single use, so you use it and you dispose it off. You don't have to wash and reuse for the other patient. Most of the things are readily available for you to use, basically. So you go to the storeroom of your ward and you see that everything is available. You have gloves, you have aprons, you have everything you generally need to make your work comfortable. You don't have to improvise anything. And if you run short, before you even run short, you call the stores and they deliver to you. You have patient refreshment, you have everything available for your patient as well. But back home, we have to improvise at a point in time, just to make the work to run. A multidisciplinary, approach. So you see the teamwork there is a clear cut. Nurses have their task, a doctor has his task, you have other specialties in play. But back home, you don't have these specialties readily available. So if you have a patient on a ward who needs to be assessed by the speech and language therapist, they are readily available on the ward. You have nutritionists, you have physiotherapists, you have dietitians, you have everybody available on the ward. You just give them a ring or a shout and they are there to take care of the patient. But back home, you don't have things like that. You have to either refer the patient to. Also in the UK, there's this team spirit that I wasn't seeing back home. So somebody commented on one of my videos that she doesn't want to move to the UK because she feels that the whites do not respect the blacks. It's a myth. I don't honestly know where people had this misconception or these ideas from. The people here are literally very nice and receptive. They are open to constructive ideas and they actually respect every life. In the UK, everybody is entitled. It doesn't matter where you work or the category of group that you belong to. You are respected and you are highly held in esteem. I went on my leave last week. I wasn't home. I came home to meet the chief nursing officer of my trust has posted an appreciation letter into my mailbox, just saying thank you so much for your effort throughout this pandemic. I later got to know that I wasn't the only one that received this letter. Every member of staff in the trust received this letter. So it was a letter, a certificate, and a badge. Every member of staff, thank you so much for your effort throughout last year and this year. This kind of appreciation makes you feel so much important and makes you want to give out your best. But back home, it's very difficult for a superior to actually appreciate your efforts. You know, we used to worship our superiors. So if you meet your nursing in charge and you don't call them by sister or mommy or auntie or, you know, by those titles, DDNS, PNOs, you can be sanctioned. I had that, you know, I got to face that at a point. I forgot to stand up for my DDNS. You know, when you see your senior rank, you have to stand up to greet them. I literally didn't see my superior coming, so I didn't stand up to greet her, and I was queried for that. But here in the UK, nobody minds. You see your manager and you call them by their first name. It doesn't matter their age, it doesn't matter their rank, it doesn't matter whoever it is. You see a doctor, you call them by their first name. You see your manager by their first name, your senior, your junior, everybody by their first name without adding any title. Like everybody is just like anybody. Everybody is entitled and everybody is respected. So you don't have to be somebody to be respected. Everybody is actually a somebody here in the UK. And that is one thing that is a plus for, you know, working overseas. In the UK, that you get to hear people asking you, have you had your break? Have you gone for your break? You need to go for your break. You need to take something. Back home, you have to smuggle to get your breaks. But here, you go for your breaks, and if you don't go, you are asked, have you gone for your break? You have to go for your break because you are entitled to it and you have to go for it. Also, in the UK here, people look after each other. It is only in the UK that I saw people actually thanking you at the end of the shift. So you get somebody walking up to you and saying, thank you so much for working with me today. Thank you so much for your help today. And I'm like, oh, I'm being paid for what I'm doing, so why do you have to thank me? It's just to show appreciation, to let you know that you are highly respected, you are highly appreciated for your service. I didn't see this back home. Nobody says thank you. Nobody appreciates your effort. It's just 1 in 1,000 that will appreciate really what you do. But here in the UK, after every shift, you get at least one person walking up to you and saying, thank you so much for your help today. And that alone gives you that peace of mind to settle and to give out your best anytime you are on duty. But career advancement opportunities. So in the UK, you can literally change jobs every month or every 2. It depends on you. Nobody is, you know, will hold you captive to work with them. You can change jobs. If you're not happy with this job, you can change to the other job. It's just as simple as that. You can always change job. You can specialize. You can do your masters. You can do your degrees. You can do whatever you want to do because the system gives you that opportunity to do it. So currently, I am working in endoscopy without experience. I didn't have any experience. I was just taking straight and I was trained on the job. And today, I can do everything as though I have been specialized in endoscopy. But I was just trained on the job. So they see something positive in you and they invest in you to give out your best. But back home, you have to go to school, you have to specialize because before you can be placed in such department or in such unit. If you want to do BSc here in the UK after your diploma, it takes just a year to get your BSc. But back home, it used to be 3 years or 2 years to get a BSc. And if you want to specialize, it also takes a year or up to 18 months to specialize. If you want to do masters, it can take up to 2 years or a year and a half to get your masters. And it's actually very, very easy to get your masters done or to get your degree done. There is no entitlement or entanglement to tell you that you have to serve for this number of years before you are promoted or before you can be able to do your masters or your PhD or your degree or whatever. So if you work and you feel at any point you want to go to school, you just notify your trust or your care home in writing that you want to go to school and you can go. Unlike back home, you have to serve for a period of time before you'll be released to go to school. No, here it's not like that. Also with promotions, here in the UK, We don't have anything telling you to work for this stipulated number of years before you can be promoted from one band to the other. I know people who are band 6 and it took them a year from band 5 to get to band 6. It honestly depends on your zeal to work and meeting the job specification of the advertisement that has been placed. So if you've worked in a trust for a year or two, you have seen an advertisement and you feel that you meet that job requirement for the band 6, you can apply for it and you get it. But back home, if you have the diploma and you want to move, you want to be promoted, you have to serve for 5 years before you can be promoted. And if you have the degree and you want to be promoted, you have to serve for 3 years in between the ranks before you have to be promoted. Here in the UK, it doesn't work like that. The system is flexible. It makes you choose whatever you want to do. So you have to map up to meet it anyhow you want to. You have the liberty to advance your career anyhow you want to. If you want to move into research, if you want to be on the field, if you want to move into education, whatever you want to do, the system generally supports you. So this is just a comparison of how nursing is in the UK and how it used to be in Ghana. I hope this video helps you. Thanks so much for your constant support, for always coming back to the channel. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share, comment in the comment section, like and give it a thumbs up, and always come back to the channel. Thank you so much for your support. Just bye for now.